Imagine waking up one night to a strange hum outside your window. You look out, and something is there. Not human, not animal, watching you. For decades, people around the world have reported encounters with beings that defy explanation. Governments deny them, witnesses vanish, files are sealed, but the stories keep coming, and some of them are disturbingly similar. Today, we're diving into the 5 most widely reported and eerily consistent alien species that have allegedly been seen right here on Earth. These aren't just one-off sightings. These are recurring encounters, spanning continents, decades, and belief systems. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, what you're about to hear has been claimed by military officials, pilots, abductees, and whistleblowers. These 5 species come up again and again across cultures and time, and some say they're still here. Let's begin with the species almost everyone has heard of, but few truly understand. They're called the Greys. If you've ever seen a sci-fi movie or flipped through conspiracy forums, you've seen them. Short humanoid figures around 3 to 4 feet tall, with hairless grey skin, oversized heads, long arms, spindly fingers, and enormous black almond-shaped eyes. They have no visible mouths, no ears, no emotion. The Greys are the most commonly reported alien species in abduction cases. In the 1961 case of Betty and Barney Hill, one of the first widely publicized alien abduction stories, the couple described beings that fit the Grey description perfectly, decades before it became a pop culture cliché. Victims often describe being paralyzed in their sleep, unable to scream or move, surrounded by Greys. They're taken aboard a craft, subjected to cold medical procedures, needles, tissue samples, sometimes sexual experimentation, and then returned, often with no memory, or worse, fragmented memories that only return in dreams or hypnosis. Here's what's especially strange. People from different countries speaking different languages, who've never been exposed to each other's cultures, often describe the same beings, the same ships, the same sensations. Many researchers believe the Greys are not individuals, but rather a programmed biological species, perhaps artificial, perhaps cloned. Their emotionless behavior and procedural methods suggest they're not acting independently. They're following orders. But from who? Some theories suggest the Greys are working for a higher alien hierarchy. Others say they're ancient explorers, trying to save their dying species by experimenting with human genetics. But what no one disputes is this: the Greys are watching us. And whatever their mission is, it's not over. But the Greys are only part of the puzzle. The second species has inspired fear, paranoia, and thousands of conspiracy theories. Unlike the Greys, the Reptilians are described as tall, muscular, and terrifying. Over 6 to 8 feet in height, with scaly, lizard-like skin, glowing eyes, usually yellow or red, and a presence that induces fear even before they speak. According to thousands of accounts, reptilians are deeply involved in global politics, hiding behind human disguises and manipulating humanity from within. This theory exploded into the mainstream thanks to British author and speaker David Icke, who claims that a reptilian bloodline has infiltrated every major government and power structure in the world. Royal families, presidents, CEOs, media moguls, they're not human, they're hybrids, and they're hiding in plain sight. The most disturbing part, many whistleblowers, former military, intelligence agents, and abductees say the same thing, that reptilians are hostile, that they feed on human fear, that they control our systems to keep us distracted, divided, and docile. One woman in Colorado claimed to have seen her politician husband momentarily shift into a reptilian form during an argument. His eyes turned vertical, his tongue flickered, and then just as quickly, he was back to normal. She thought she'd imagined it, until it happened again. Are they shapeshifters? Are they using advanced holograms? Or is this psychological warfare at its finest? According to some theories, reptilians originated from the Draco constellation, hence their full name in many circles, the Draco Reptilians. Others believe they were already on Earth long before humans evolved, living underground, pulling strings, waiting for their moment to rise. And while they represent control and domination, the next species offers something entirely different. They're known as the Nordics. Named for their resemblance to Scandinavian humans, the Nordics, or tall whites, are described as ethereal, beautiful and serene. Standing over 6 feet tall, with pale skin, long blonde or white hair, blue eyes and perfect symmetry, these beings seem more angelic than alien. Many abductees and contactees report peaceful interactions with Nordics. Unlike the Greys or Reptilians, Nordics allegedly communicate through empathy and telepathy. They often deliver warnings about the environment, nuclear weapons, or spiritual decay. They urge humanity to evolve, to awaken, to resist the manipulation of darker forces. Some experiencers say Nordics appeared during childhood, offering guidance and protection. Others claim they were rescued by Nordics during near-death experiences, or that they were shown visions of Earth's future, both apocalyptic and hopeful. The origins of the Nordics are debated. Some believe they hail from the Pleiades star system. Others suggest they may be time travelers or even advanced humans from a lost ancient civilization. Interestingly, in some abduction cases, Nordics appear alongside Greys, not as captors, but as observers. Silent, watchful, almost regretful. Are they overseeing the experiments? Or are they prisoners of a system they no longer control? And is it a coincidence that these beings so closely resemble the angels and gods described in ancient texts? While the Nordics intrigue and the Reptilians terrify, the next species unsettles on a whole other level. Meet the Insectoids. If there's a species that challenges our deepest biological instincts, it's this one. Standing over 7 feet tall with thin torsos, elongated limbs and heads resembling giant praying mantises, Insectoids are often described as the most disturbing of all alien beings. Their eyes are large, dark, and multifaceted, like a compound mirror. Their movements are smooth, too smooth, and their presence? Intellectually overwhelming. Experiencers often say they feel like their thoughts are being read, unraveled, and reprogrammed in real time. Unlike the Greys, Insectoids don't communicate with words. They insert thoughts, images, emotions directly into the mind, often leaving people shaken for days. One man in Oregon described meeting an insectoid aboard a ship after a Grey-led abduction. He said it didn't move, it hovered, it didn't speak, it scanned. He described it as being dissected without tools, psychologically, not physically. Insectoids are thought to be high-ranking in the alien hierarchy, possibly above the Greys. Some believe they're the architects of abductions, responsible for long-term genetic monitoring of human populations. Interestingly, these beings have shown up in ancient cultures too. Some Aboriginal Australian art depicts tall, mantis-like figures with halos. Egyptian carvings contain strange, elongated insect beings. Are these coincidences or records? And then there's the final species, the most human and perhaps the most terrifying. They're known as the hybrids. Imagine walking down the street and locking eyes with someone who looks normal, but something's off. Their stare is too intense, their skin too smooth, their responses too calculated. You can't explain it, but your instincts scream, this is not a human being. That's how many people describe their encounters with hybrids. According to numerous abduction testimonies, the Greys have been conducting a long-term hybridization program, mixing human and alien DNA to produce a new species. These beings are intended to look human, act human, even feel human, but they're not. In some cases, abductees have reported being shown rows of hybrid children, told they are their offspring. The children are often described as fragile-looking, pale-skinned with oversized eyes, and emotionally distant expressions. Many report a feeling of being bonded to these children, despite having no memories of conception. Other reports go further, claiming that hybrids have already integrated into society, that they're in our schools, our cities, our governments, quiet, observing, learning. One woman in Canada said she met a man on a subway who seemed completely normal until he leaned close and whispered, "Don't be afraid. I'm not here to hurt you." She hadn't said a word. She hadn't even looked at him. Then he exited the train. She never saw him again. And perhaps the most chilling theory, that hybrids are the next phase of evolution, that humans are being slowly phased out and replaced. So now the question is, what do we do with all of this? 5 alien species. thousands of encounters, consistent descriptions, and deafening silence from those in power. Are these stories delusions, hoaxes, misinterpretations? Or are they a glimpse into something much larger, something we've been trained not to see? In every culture on Earth, there are myths of star beings, sky gods, watchers from above. Now we call them aliens, but maybe they were always here. Maybe they never left. And maybe, right now, as you watch this, they're watching you too.